Which of the following is not true? A. Taiwan is using drones and AI to capture stray dogs. B. One kind of salmon was once hailed the national treasure fish of Taiwan. Or C. Taiwan's tri-spine horseshoe crabs may have survived for millions of years. Today's a fun episode because A, B, and C are all true. Keep listening to Formosa Fauna to find out more. Spend the next 20 minutes feeding your brain with Formosa Fauna so you can learn all about the animal kingdom and become smarter than all of your friends. Every Friday is Formosa Fauna Friday. Hello, I'm Tristan Hildebrand, the voice of Formosa Fauna. We have so much to catch up on this week when it comes to news and current events relating to animals in Taiwan, so let's dive right in. In an optimistic show of stewardship, indigenous hunters in Taichung have voluntarily pulled animal traps from their traditional hunting grounds after learning the area is a vital habitat for the endangered Formosan black bear. As reported on by Taiwan News, the Forestry and Nature Conservation Agency announced Friday that the Taoshan tribe in Heping district made this decision after motion-activated cameras captured clear footage of an adult Formosan black bear during a routine patrol in March 2023. A younger bear had also been spotted in the same spot the previous year, evidence that this mountain area is more than just a passing stop for the bears, proving that it's probably their home. The Taoshan tribe, a remote Adayo community of around 600 people, lives surrounded by lush forests, flowing streams, and blooming peach trees. It's a place rich in natural resources and now officially is recognized as a safe haven for one of Taiwan's most iconic and threatened species. Deputy Chief Chen Zhengwen said signs of bear activity had been observed for years. Once recent footage confirmed the bear's presence, local hunters acted quickly to remove their traps and began sharing information on hunting areas to support broader conservation efforts. The Formosan black bear has been protected under Taiwan's Wildlife Conservation Act since 1989, but population numbers remain worryingly low. Poaching, habitat loss, and human development still threaten the species, making the preservation of stable habitats like the Taoshan area all the more critical. Forestry officials say repeated bear sightings in the area highlight its status as a key habitat. Thanks to local cooperation, the Formosan black bears may now have a better chance to thrive in the wild. Chiayi County is taking animal control to the next level with drones, AI, and other tech. In a recent week-long pilot project at a solar farm in Iju Township, officials managed to capture about 80% of the area's stray dogs using thermal imaging, smart traps, and some serious tech teamwork. The program, which ran in late April, is being hailed as a big success and could soon roll out to more parts of Taiwan to help manage both stray dogs and cats, according to CNA. The project came together thanks to a partnership between the county's Livestock Disease Control Center and Professor Chen Jingru of National Yunnan University of Science and Technology. Together, they created a ground-to-air dog catching system. I'm going to say that again because it's sort of surprising and confusing. Ground-to-air dog catching system that uses drone surveillance and AI to track down and gently capture stray dogs in real time. Stray dogs had become a growing problem near the solar farm, with some residents saying they felt outnumbered at times, and that made them uneasy going out for walks. The AI system helped identify dog hotspots from the sky, guiding crews on where to set up large, humane enclosures to safely trap and care for the animals. And it's not just about catching the dogs. The program also includes medical treatment, sterilization, and rehoming. And to tackle the root of the problem, AI is also being used to monitor for illegal pet abandonment and public feeding, complete with license plate recognition to help enforce animal protection laws. I was uncertain how I felt about this project until I heard that they are tackling the root of the problem as well, which is mainly illegal pet abandonment. Lin Peiru, who heads the local animal control center, said the county formed 3 specialized teams to keep the effort running smoothly, one for capture, one for vet care, and one for inspections. Since Taiwan's zero culling or no-kill policy came into effect 8 years ago in 2017, overcrowding at shelters has made prevention and smarter management more urgent than ever. Because shelters and vets cannot legally euthanize healthy dogs and cats just because they have too many. Last year, Jia led the country in stray dog captures, rounding up 2,827 dogs. More than 120 violations were recorded, bringing in nearly 4 million NT dollars, or about 136,000 US dollars in fines. With such promising results, officials hope this high-tech model can be used island-wide, offering a smarter, more humane way to manage stray animals while keeping communities safe. But is it too much government surveillance and observation? Taiwan is covered with security cameras, and many people believe the existence of security cameras alone is enough to deter much of the crime. What are your thoughts? Send me an email at tristan@rti.org.tw. That is tristan@rti.org.tw. Taiwan's SPCA enforces anti-cruelty laws with a focus on education. Co-founder Connie Cheng is here with us to share one of the most common misconceptions pet owners in Taiwan have and to explain what pet owners should be doing instead.
We get a lot of questions about why it's necessary to neuter or spay your dog and cat. A lot of people here actually feel that it's cruel or dangerous to put their animals through that surgery, which is understandable. But actually, in reality, neutering and spaying surgeries, they're really simple, they're really fast, and animals are put, under anesthetics so they don't feel the pain. And long-term wise, it's actually better for their health, as science has proven that it prevents a lot of cancers later in life.
I think a lot of people also like to see themselves reflected in the animals and say, well, I wouldn't want that to happen to me, so why would I do that to my pet?
Exactly.
What would you say to pet owners like that?
Yeah, that's what we call 拟人化, right? There are loads of papers and just articles on why neutering is good for pets that's available, on the web. And even just a phone call to a vet hospital, they will explain to you how safe it is and why it's good for your animal. Another thing, that's beneficial is it prevents a lot of unwanted litters and pets, because in Taiwan we do have the problem of overpopulation of dogs and cats. And that is why so many public shelters are at full capacity, right? So we do educate people, please neuter and spay your pets. And it's required by law. And
this is especially important if your cat or dog is going to be spending any time outside around other animals. Asia's largest regular gathering of animal protection organizations, the Asia for Animals Conference, AFA, is happening right here in Taiwan from August 25th to the 29th.
Register so you can get to know more about animal conservation and protection, both right here in Taiwan and across the world.
Thank you, Connie.
Thank you.
Taiwan is on track to meet its annual goal of removing 120,000 invasive green iguanas, with the Forestry and Nature Conservation Agency confirming 108,000 culled or killed so far this year. Conservationists are warning, however, that the effort may not be enough to curb the long-term ecological threat. Green iguanas, which are not native to Taiwan, are apparently wreaking havoc on local ecosystems. They consume plants and fruits, prey on the eggs and young of native birds and reptiles, and burrow extensively, destabilizing sidewalks, seawalls, and other infrastructure. If unchecked, experts say their populations could continue expanding northward, worsening the damage. We have talked at length on Formosa Fauna about the downfalls of this lizard bounty, so I won't go into too much more here. Teng Yizhen, an official with the forestry agency, said that current rules restrict culling efforts to within local jurisdictions. Only trained personnel on authorized lists are allowed to carry out removals, which limits cross-regional coordination. Most green iguanas are concentrated in southern and central Taiwan, though sightings have been reported in Hualien and Miaoli, and experts say that this could just be the beginning. Also, Huang Wenshan, director of the National Museum of Natural Science, says this is only a temporary fix. How much more money can we keep spending, and how many people can you train? He says he believes Hsinchu and Taipei will face this problem next. Is it a fix at all, though? Is it? Taiwan is an island that is 70% covered by mountains, lakes, and jungle. Taiwan's early connections to the Pacific and Southeast Asia are well established and are the basis for seeing Taiwan as an ocean nation. Did you know that over 17,000 species thrive in the deep sea, where no light penetrates the ocean waves? Or that there are 38,000 different kinds of microbes in just 1 liter of seawater? These were all discoveries made by the Census of Marine Life, a 10-year international effort that assessed the diversity, distribution, and abundance of marine life. Today you're going to learn about the Formosan landlocked salmon, also known as the cherry salmon. This species was discovered in 1917 and is rarely found in low-latitude zones. In fact, this Taiwanese species is the southernmost distribution of the West Pacific salmon species. During the Japanese colonial era in Taiwan, the salmon was designated as a natural monument according to the National Taiwan Museum and listed under conservation status. By 1995, the cherry salmon population had plunged to fewer than 200 individuals. Today, thanks to habit restoration, breeding programs, and conservation education, their numbers have soared to more than 180,000. Recently, the Taiwanese government has been doing more in the way of conservation for these Formosan landlocked salmon, including designating habitats as conservation areas, supporting more research to explore biological aspects, including the origin, evolution, classification, and conservation of the salmon. The fish is officially the Formosan landlocked salmon because efforts were made in Taiwan to apply for this name with international organizations to represent the salmon's endemic status in Taiwan, which was successful. Before that, it was only classified as a subspecies of the Japanese Masus salmon. This is fun because the fish I just told you all about is also in this week's news. Sheipa National Park is putting the spotlight on one of Taiwan's rarest treasures and asking the public to help. Park officials on Friday encouraged people to vote for their Formosan Landlocked Salmon Conservation Center in the Tourism Administration's ongoing Spotlighting campaign. The center has played a key role in protecting the Formosan landlocked salmon, helping populations rebound from the brink of extinction with decades of tireless conservation efforts. Nominated by the National Park Service, the Conservation Center is now being recognized for its achievements, and Sheipa National Park wants all of our help to give it the attention it deserves. To sweeten the deal, the park launched a fun raffle. Anyone who comments 1 vote a day to support the national treasure fish, or 天天挺国宝鱼一票, and tags 3 friends under the campaign post will be entered to win a park-themed cooler bag. 10 lucky winners will be chosen. To raise public awareness, the park now offers a live stream of the salmon's river habitat, giving viewers everywhere a front row seat to see the fish in action. Conservation efforts don't stop at the riverbanks, though. Nearby Wuling Farm, once home to retired soldier-cultivated farmlands, is undergoing a major reforestation project to restore the Formosan landlocked salmon's surrounding ecosystem. Over 90% of the land is already in transition back to forest, helping improve water quality, and bolster biodiversity. According to Assistant Professor Liao Lingyan of National Taiwan Ocean University, these salmon are extremely sensitive to environmental changes. They need water temperatures to stay below 17 degrees Celsius year-round and under 10 degrees Celsius during the breeding season. Their diet, which mostly consists of aquatic and forest insects, means healthy forests are directly tied to their survival. From reforestation to genetics, the Formosan landlocked salmon's journey is far from over, but with public support and continued conservation work, this iconic species is swimming towards a stronger future. Taiwan's tri-spine horseshoe crabs may have survived for millions of years. As reported on by Taiwan News, on Friday, the Ocean Affairs Council honored National Sun Yat-sen University professor Chang Yi for leading Taiwan's first comprehensive study on this fascinating species, often called a living fossil due to its unchanged appearance since prehistoric times. Despite being one of Taiwan's most recognizable bottom-dwelling arthropods, horseshoe crabs have been largely overlooked in local research. That lack of data has made it hard for the government to create solid conservation policies, according to CNA. To change that, Chang and his team spent time in the field across Taiwan, Kinmen, and Penghu, collecting data on horseshoe crab numbers and where they live, and compiling the most complete data set to date on the species in Taiwan. Genetic testing revealed that horseshoe crab populations in the three regions are remarkably similar. Chang says that's good news because it means conservation efforts can treat the species as a single population, making management a bit more straightforward and manageable. The team's findings, recently published in Regional Studies in Marine Science, are expected to become a key reference for the International Union for Conservation of Nature IUCN, as it evaluates the species' health in Taiwan. However, while horseshoe crabs still exist here, their numbers have dropped sharply. Today, they're mainly found in Kinmen and Penghu, and even there, they're under pressure. One of the biggest new threats is invasive salt marsh cordgrass, which is quickly taking over their delicate intertidal habitats. Kinmen County Councilor Tong Sen-pao argues that banning fishing alone won't be enough to save them. What really matters, he says, is protecting and restoring their natural habitats, especially by managing invasive plants like the one we just mentioned, salt marsh cordgrass. That's a view shared by longtime intertidal zone advocate Hong Qing-tang, a retired teacher in Kinmen. Hong says horseshoe crabs are picky about where they live, and while some damage from development may seem permanent, there's still hope. With quick action and proper removal of the cordgrass, many areas could recover. Hong believes community participation is key. For areas that are already overrun, he suggests using heavy machinery to clear the invasive plants. But he's also calling out the government for what he says is half-hearted efforts. He says some contractors only clear visible patches ahead of inspections, leaving the root of the problem untouched. Hong warns, if we wait until it's out of control, it's already too late. He's urging stronger oversight and more thorough, consistent habitat restoration practices. Thanks to Chang's work, Taiwan now has a clearer picture of this ancient creature's status, and with local action, a better shot at securing its future. Have you ever had a memorable experience with an animal, have a pet you want to share, or something recently in the news has caught your eye and you would like to talk about it? Well, you know what you can do. You can send me an email so I can read it on air to share with all of our lovely Formosa Fauna friends. It could be the simplest thing, and as long as it means something to you, it'll mean something to me. If you're sending an email, be sure to write that to tristan@rti.org.tw. That is tristan@rti.org.tw. I always love to hear from listeners. And making it to the end of an episode makes you a Formosa Fauna friend. Thank you for tuning in, friend. See you next time for Formosa Fauna Fridays here on Radio Taiwan International.